Assalamu alaikum and a very good afternoon to everyone. This is Faisal Nadeem from AMP, Association of Muslim Professionals. A very warm welcome to all of you. Today we are here for AMP Free Employability Training Program, and topic for today is Careers in Disruptive Era. Before moving on, I would now do a short presentation about AMP. AMP India is a non-for-profit organization registered under Section 8 of the Companies Act 2013, Government of India, for providing voluntary social services to meet the needs of underprivileged individuals, that is, upliftment of the underserved and needy through education and vocational training, employment support, medical relief, economic empowerment, student mentorship, and guidance. The above services are provided to needy individuals irrespective of caste, creed, and religion. Employment Assistance Cell. Keeping in mind of AMP core objective of supporting the underprivileged, promoting education and creating economic empowerment, AMP had launched a special project named Employment Assistance Cell, and today it is one of the core projects of AMP. Major EAC activities. Our major EAC activities include job fairs, job drives, employability training program in colleges, skill training company tie-ups, candidate mobilization, skill development courses. Job fairs. Job fair is one of the flagship project of AMP, and we have successfully organized 43 plus job fairs till date. Every job fair has a participation of minimum 50 companies and 2000 plus candidates. AMP has organized job fairs in the past in collaboration with Thane Police, Aurangabad Police, West Bengal Minority Finance Development Corporation, Andhra Pradesh States Minority Finance Corporation, and other reputed NGOs. Job drives. Job drives are similar to fairs but organized on a much smaller scale compared to job fairs. In a job drive, we typically invite only up to 2 to 3 corporates who have specific openings and advertise their opening profiles in order to attract suitable candidates. Employability training program. ETP is developed by the AMP to assist job seekers find the right job at the right place and at the right time. We team up with the colleges in different cities and conduct ETP programs online as well as offline. Our training programs will cover the following. Some of these are personality development, effective CV writing, interview techniques, job searching strategies. It aims to create awareness and groom young graduates who are aspiring to be professionals. Skill training company tie-ups. AMP has partnered with reputed skill training companies like Tata Trust, Whirlpool, Tech Mahindra Foundation, etc. We have also arranged skill training melas in Mumbai by inviting around 20 skill training companies to hire and train unskilled candidates who could not pursue their higher studies after 10th and 12th standard. Candidate mobilization. AMP has mobilized candidates for various skill development courses like home appliances technician, AC technician, mobile repairing technician, and solar engineering under Skill India mission in centers all across India. Our achievements: employment assistance, 43 plus job fairs, out of which 9 online job fairs, 275 plus job drives, out of which 20 online job drives, 220 plus employability training programs, out of which 37 online ETPs, 100 plus mock interviews in colleges, 25,000 plus candidates placed in jobs. Career fairs. Organized 6 career fairs, benefited 1,50,000 plus students. Our new initiatives. Empowersjobs.com, connecting right talent with right opportunity. Empowersjobs.com was launched on 6 December 2020. It is a unique job portal with comprehensive offerings introduced by AMP India Foundation for job seekers, especially those hit by the COVID pandemic. Thank you, everyone. Now I would like to invite Dean of Academics of College for a brief introduction about the college.
A very good afternoon to all. On behalf of HOD Electronics and Communication, I extend my warmest welcome to Mr. Mohammad Zamir Hussain, who is known for teamwork, flexibility, career counselor, consultant, teacher, for giving his precious time for our students. As we have already stepped into this new academic semester filled with hope, good health, and dreams of scaling new heights after the pandemic. So this webinar will be like icing on the cake because of its purpose to guide you all in post-pandemic era about the selection of careers and dealing with employability issues. See, hard work, dedication, and perseverance are the most important traits in students that lead to success. Because of future belongs to you, this future belongs to you, your needs, and therefore prepare yourself for an active and interactive participation in this webinar and grab the opportunity to interact with Mr. Mohammad Sir. Without wasting time, I'm grateful of our principal, Dr. ZZ Khan Sir, our HOD, Professor Thauri sir, for giving permission for organization of this webinar, and of course, Professor Anju Qureshi ma'am for her efforts. So thank you, sir. Thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am, for your wonderful words. Now, I would like to invite the principal of the college, Mr. Javed Khan, sir, for an introduction.
Thank you so much. I hope that I'm audible.
Yes, sir.
Am I
Yes,
audible?
sir. Yes, sir. You are audible.
Please. Thank you so much. The speaker of the day, Mr. Hussain, our Dean of the Academics, Dr. Alka Saulikar, Anju Madam, and all my dear students and other participants. Well, at the outset, I would like to appreciate the efforts which have been taken by AMP, because for the first time I have gone through the profile of this AMP, and I'm really, astonished to see the work that you are doing in building the careers of the students across the country. And I hope that there should be more such organizations who look after this career building of the students and the youths. Because the most important thing that I believe is that we have to not only provide the education to the students, the youths, but also they should be put on the right track. Perhaps the institutions or the colleges like ours, we are providing good quality of education to the students. But equally important is that after acquiring their degrees and all that, they should be put on the right track. And by virtue of this AMP, as I could see, you are doing all these required things for the betterment of the students' fraternity. And therefore, certainly this AMP deserves to be complimented and congratulated. Well, as far as the today's webinar and the topic is concerned, I believe that you can just compare it with, daily we drive our two-wheelers or four-wheelers. And whenever, the road conditions changes, we need to change our gear also. See, this is the simplest way how the topic of today's can be explained to the students, what came to my mind. Because if you don't change the gear, either your, vehicle is going to stop, or you are going to, indulge in some accidents or something like that. And therefore, it is very necessary that you are always putting your vehicle in the right gear. Driving a car is not important. Driving a car in right gear is also equally important. And therefore, our students may be in the age of say 20 to 30s, but we are in the age of 50s to 60s. And in our lives also, we have not seen the condition which we have been witnessing almost since 2 years, since last 2 years. It is something which has been observed by the people across the world for the first time in their life. And therefore, it is a huge change, that has come in every spectrum of our life. Whether, it is our education, whether it is our appearing in the examinations, whether it is learning skills, whether it is teaching skills, even whether it is, talking to your colleagues, and so many things. Every nook and corner of the life, human life, has drastically undergone change since last 2 years. And therefore, to revamp ourselves, it is necessary that we learn some special topics, some special skills which will make us competitive in the today's cutthroat market. Because everybody will be coming with this type of the degrees where everybody is getting. And I was, in fact, when I have been witnessing my students, I could see that everybody is coming with a CGPA of 9.5, 9.6. The students who never scored even 6.5, they are coming to me, sir, what's your score? So he proudly is replying, sir, I got 9.8. I'm just searching for a person who has got 9.7, but I'm not getting that. So, everybody is coming with huge, what you call marks in their degree examinations and all that. And now it is going to be certainly your skills which are going to make a way as far as your employability is concerned. Because everybody is going to come with this type of mark list where everybody is put with 9.5 plus. And therefore, I believe that these special skills, if you learn all these skills, are going to really put you in a competitive race wherein you can find a good job for you in your career. So I hope that the session of Mr. Hussain will be extremely useful for all my dear students who are participating in this particular program. I once again express my gratitude not only to Mr. Hussain, but to the entire Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering, and particularly Professor Anjum, who is always, very prompt and instrumental in organizing such events for the college. I hope that such programs are going to be organized even in future by our college, and hope that this program is going to be extremely useful for all the people. I once again express my thanks to all of you for giving me an opportunity to share my views. Thank you so much, and God bless you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Now, I would like to introduce the speaker of the today, Mr. Mohammad Zamir Hussain. He is an MBA graduate with certification in training and has with a dynamic profession with over 17 years of experience uh, in training, career counseling, and quality assessment. He has trained more than 50,000 plus students, 35,000 plus corporate employees, and more than 50 different nationalities, both in India as well as in Dubai. He has delivered lectures, training, and keynote on a wide spectrum of topics like personality development, human resource, strategic management, sales and marketing, business analytics, and many more. Now, without wasting the time, I would like to hand over the session to Mr. Mohammad Zamir Hussain.
A very warm good afternoon and assalamu alaikum and namaskar to everyone. Before I continue, I hope I am audible. So first of all, before I start, I would like to thank Almighty Allah who has given us this ability to communicate, share our thoughts, share our ideas, and share our experiences with each other. And thanks to AMP for time and time again considering me to render my services to the noble cause what AMP stands for. And I'm fortunate enough to be a part of it and trying to do my best whatever I can for Association of Muslim Professionals. Meanwhile, for the college side, I'm really surprised on the happier side, because I feel this is one of the good college that I should interact with, because the way the college introduction has happened and the way Javed sir, Alka ma'am has introduced, I think it's the responsibilities on me now to justify the time that you all are giving to me. So I hope I'll be justifying the topic, I'll be justifying the time which you all will be giving to me. With these expectations, let me directly jump into the subject. Okay, there is a slide here. I hope everybody can see this slide. And if quickly somebody can tell me, you have a chat box. So all of you, maybe you are aware so far because of this pandemic, you might have used Zoom for a lot of online classes. And you can use this chat box and let me know, whenever I'm asking something, you can, chat with me through this chat box. And we do have a question and answer session, and you can ask your questions, specific questions towards the end, or you can keep typing and later on Faisal will help us to take these questions. But meanwhile, on this slide, I have a question. You see an image here on this slide. So from which movie is this image from? Okay, Vikram says Three Idiot, Anjum says Three Idiot, Twinkle says Three Idiots, Sagar says Three Idiots. Yes, 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 it is Three Idiots movie. Okay, but what's the interpretation that we all must carry from this particular scene of this movie? Okay, I would like to remind all of us as to career is something not what can be decided at the time of your birth. Okay, it is not based on the time or place or where you are born, or it doesn't goes with your name. It doesn't even goes with your father and mother's name. It doesn't even goes with the father and mother's profession. Okay, so career is something which we need to when I say we Indians, okay, we Indians need to be very particular on, because the landscape of industry is changing day in, day out. Okay, so that is why nowadays, how do students take the career? It's basically sometimes thinking about the family, what mother and father are doing, sometimes what their elder siblings are doing, or sometimes based on your best friend, what he or she is doing, right? Or sometimes some neighbor, or sometimes somebody whom you might have seen in your family or friends, they have studied some course and they are earning good. So your parents or somebody wants you to do that course because there's a good earning in that particular field. So definitely this could be one of the criteria. I'm not telling this should not be considered. This should be considered. Okay, along with that, what is the best fit for you? Where does your personality fit in? Okay, that is also very important. But today we are talking about disruptive technologies. So I'll not talk about personality. Let me talk about technology. Okay, so 20 years ago, when people used to select their career, okay, there were limited career options. Okay, huge demand and less supply used to be there. Okay, doctors, engineers, lawyers, and government services, people used to easily study their courses and get into that. Okay, there was very limited choice available at that time. But nowadays, if we talk about, there are more than 3,000 professions, 3,000 different jobs what one can get into. Okay, so out of those 3,000, now a good question to ask ourselves is, how many do we know? Okay, we are already into a professional course, we are already into a degree course. Okay, I know we have decided our segment, which area we will be getting into. But still then, here also there are further more wide spectrum of options available. If I say one example, if I say computer science, within that, if I say in computer science also, one can become a developer, one can become a programmer. Okay, one can become a tester, right? Somebody is doing testing. So like this, there are many different options within programming or within computer science itself, right? And now further, there are more things which have come in computer science. UI UX designer has come. Okay, video game developer has come. Okay, cyber security has come. So within computer science itself, now there are so many other options which are open. Okay, so now how to select from these? This has become a very, very big challenge for all of us. Okay, so maybe this session will not help you to decide which one you should go for, but definitely it will open a spectrum of wide options which are available and which you can pick one. Okay, definitely seek some help of your elders, some mentors, some faculty of your college, or somebody who is into career counseling. They can guide you the best. Okay, but let's move on with the subject. So to move on with the subject, the first thing is very important. We all must understand how to attain success. Okay, definitely you might read so many books, there might be so many videos, there may be so many different options where you can come across and get to know about how to be successful in career. Okay, I'm not talking about family, personal, but more of a toward the career side. Okay, so before I continue further, can I know from all of you as to which is the tallest building in this world currently standing? Which is the tallest tower? Which is the tallest building? Many are in planning. Okay, the one which is now tallest is 0.9 kilometer tall. Okay, very soon there will be some other buildings which will be breaking this record. Okay, but there is one building which is currently the tallest in the world. So can you please help me in the chat box, which is the tallest building in the world? Nitin says, anybody else? Only Nitin? Okay, Nitin says Burj Khalifa. Right, Nitin, you are bang on. You are right on top of Burj Khalifa now. Okay. Okay. Anushri also says Burj Khalifa, right? So everybody knows, okay, that's Burj Khalifa. Shreyas also says that's Burj Khalifa. Right, guys. Thank you. Thank you so much for your active participation. So let me continue with the subject. What I want to highlight with this name of the building, Burj Khalifa, is that to construct the tallest building, to construct even a smallest building, the foundation is very important. Okay, the foundation is very important. So even to construct if the building is going 0.9 kilometer high above in the sky, towards the sky, okay, but how deep it has to go? The foundation has also gone almost half of that in the deep in the ground. Then only the Burj Khalifa can stand, right? So your career, it is not less than Burj Khalifa. Your career is also not less than Burj Khalifa. If you take it seriously, if you want to build that Burj Khalifa like monument, if you like to construct that tall building, your career also should be high standing. Okay, so for that you need that strong, solid foundation. Okay, the deep laid foundation. Okay, so for that there are three things which we all need to work on. Okay, there are three things which we all need to work on so that we will be having a very solid foundation for our success. Our career success is, number one is skills, two attitude, and third knowledge. Okay, I'm telling number, it doesn't mean that first is skills and second is attitude and third is knowledge. Okay, it's just a coincidence. Otherwise I'll tell first knowledge, then attitude, then skill. Okay, so sequence is not important, but all three are important. Okay, So let's go into this and let's try and understand what is knowledge. Okay, what is knowledge? Knowledge is basics, theories, information, facts, figures, description, all the learnings, these sciences, whatever you have acquired so far, right? These are all knowledge part of your, learning. The second part, okay, the next part is also what we can say is skills. Okay, like if I am talking to you, it's my interpersonal skills, it's my communication skills. Okay, how do I manage time? Dot 3 or before 3, I have to log in for this webinar, right? Reasoning as to why this is this and why this is that. Okay, communication skills, and more so important is the goal setting in your life. So these are all skills. Okay, so one must have skills also. Only knowledge is not enough. The industry is very challenging. The rank holder of the university will also find it stretching, will also find it challenging to work in the corporate world. Don't think that if you are good in academics, you will have a red carpet welcome. Yes, you may have a red carpet welcome, but after that you have to prove yourself. Okay, and for that you need those skills. Okay, next one is your attitude. Attitude towards your own knowledge, attitudes to your own skills, attitudes towards your own personality, attitude towards your fellow working people, fellow beings. Okay, attitude towards the company, attitude towards your manager, right? So many things matters here when you get into the corporate world. So are you a self-motivated person? Do you have that self-confidence within you? Are you a person of integrity, honesty? Okay, are you a optimistic person? Are you enthusiast? Are you a cooperative person? Are you committed to what you say and what you do? Right? So this is the next segment. So attitude also matters. So we need three sided development in our in our whatever knowledge we are gaining or whatever learnings we are having. We should acquire knowledge, we should acquire skills, we should acquire attitude, or we should develop, we should maintain. Okay, then only for sure there will be success for us in our career. Okay, so if this is the case, definitely you are getting so many good things. You are you are studying in one of the good college, you are having one of the good faculties. Okay, but faculty and college is same for everybody, but still everybody scores a different marks, right? So it's up to you now to, when you know these skills and knowledge, I'm going back to my previous slide. When you know the skills, knowledge, and attitude, ask yourself how many you can write in your CV, how many you can write in your curriculum vitae. Okay, just ask yourself, if you are writing this in your CV, do expect a question in the interview about this. Oh, you mentioned you are a person of integrity. Can you narrate us a story where you happen to demonstrate your integrity? Okay, for sure this question will come. So, but before that, before writing, you must have applied practically in your life. Okay, and that is why ask yourself how many you can actually write in your CV. Okay, so that's very important for all of us, that we have a holistic development. We don't do only academic development. We need to have a holistic development, as some time back even Javed sir was also telling. Right, guys? Okay, so with this, let me move forward. Let me introduce to a concept. I hope you might have already come across this, because people from technical background, CS background usually would be. Otherwise, if my friends from commerce background or arts background, if I'm addressing, I feel a bit challenged to start from scratch. But for you, I believe certain knowledge is already there. But still, let me touch the basics here. Okay, let's talk about Industry 1.0. It was not named Industry 1.0 at that time. Later on, we named this as Industry 1.0. Okay, which started somewhere in 1780s. Okay, at that time it was the people only were working, and now slowly some machines, some things some of the technology things were started getting used by the industry. Okay, to economies of scale, for production, for more effective, for more quality products and all, they started using certain technologies like mechanization, steam power, okay, weaving looms. So all those things started coming, okay, which were very much manual machines, what we call them as of now today. Okay, but later on this spanned for almost 100 years. Okay, and then somewhere in 1870s, we happened to see Industry 2.0, where how the industry was working started gradually changing. Okay, we have now mass production, we have assembly line, we have electrical energy, right? With all those things, again, the industry, how the industry used to work changed. Okay, how the industry used to work, again, it changed a bit. So this again, was somewhere in 1870s. So that means industry 1.0 for good 100 years. Okay, 1 century. Okay, but 1870 when industry 2.0 came, it also lasted for another 100 years. Okay, till 1970s almost. In 1970s, we got automation, computers and electronics and other things came in, and that's the era we call it as industry 3.0. Okay, so when industry 3.0 came in, it took away some people's job. Okay, but at the same time, it gave job to certain other people. Okay, so it was required now by the curriculum, universities, institutes to upgrade the syllabus, so that now whatever we are giving our college outputs when they're going to the industry, they must be industry ready. That was a challenge. Okay, but they cope up with this in certain time. Okay, maybe next 10-20 years. Okay, whatever possibly different countries, different universities, different institutes will geared up with that. I think very beautiful example again given by Javed sir. Like when the road change, we have to change the gears, right? So it's not only about the gear now. We have to have that James Bond's vehicle. Like it can go on the water also. It can become a boat. The moment it gets onto the land, it has a wheels in it. It becomes a car or bus, whatever you call. And if it is required, there is a fan at the top, and suddenly it starts flying. Okay, so we need to have such equipments nowadays. Okay, because it's industry 4.0. Okay, today we are living in the era of industry 4.0, where cyber physics, okay, and Internet of Things, okay, many such artificial intelligence, machine learning. Okay, you have augmented reality, virtual reality. Okay, you have these things are changing the way the whole industries are working. Okay, and the best thing happened, even though the pandemic is something bad for all of us, but these particular industries have kind of sustained because, or got more growth during this time, because they are independent of location. They are independent of where the employees are. Okay, for Internet of Things, for people working on cloud, they can work from anywhere in the world, any time of the day, any time of the night, right? So this became more evident. Okay, anyways, coming back to this slide, we see industry 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, 4.0. If you closely see the numbers, okay, the first two industrial revolutions lasted for almost a century. Okay, but the third revolution, industry 3.0, from 1970 to till date, even if we take it 2020, okay, it's actually 2010. Okay, but let us consider 2020 for that fact. So even in that case, so 30 plus 20, 50 years only industry 3.0 lasted, whereas the other two industrial revolution lasted for 100 years. Okay, so now the big question we should ask ourselves is, how long will industry 4.0 survive? Okay, how soon industry 5.0 will come? Why I am telling this is, as we are talking, the industry is changing. There are new technological advancements which are happening. There are new innovation which are happening. Okay, every now and then. Just one simple example I'll like to discuss here. Let's talk about earlier days when mobiles came and Nokia was the only mobile. Okay, we all knew at that time, right? Nokia was the only mobile. So if Nokia was the only mobile, in 1 year, how many mobiles they used to launch? How many different handsets they used to launch? How many different models they used to launch? Right? It was a very few, finger countable or single digit. Okay, 3, 4, 7, maximum 8. They used to launch only so many different models in a year. But what has happened now? Every company is coming with 20 plus or 30 plus models every year. And there are so many companies. And there are so many companies also. Right? So with that, it's very important for us, the innovation is happening right now. We are talking and it is happening. One company might have thought of a new model just now. Okay. Earlier days, Steve Jobs used to come and talk about any new iPhone model. If he would have been alive now, it would have been difficult for him. Again and again, he has to come and do the presentation. Okay. So many tablets, so many mobiles, so many Airbooks, okay, Mac Airbooks, whatever the company is coming with. So many product launches he cannot do alone, because company is doing so many products launch every year. right? So with that, what I'm trying to highlight here is the industry landscape is changing very, very, very fast. Faster than our universities or our institutes can cope up with the curriculum, because somebody needs to study and industry is directly absorbing them. We need somebody who studies this, sometime work in the industry, then come here and develop the curriculum and start teaching. So this new technology, the teachers for new technologies should come in the institutions. Then only then these technologies can be taught in the institutions, right? So for that, we cannot wait. We cannot wait for universities to upgrade the syllabus. So far, they have done very good. Okay, let me tell you, Indian universities are well matching up with the pace when compared with our counterparts in the other countries. Okay, there are some who are advanced than us also, but there are many who are falling behind us. Okay, with the advent of national education policy, it also highlights how much importance that we are giving for this changes which are coming. Okay, so very soon the new generation will be taught with these new technologies at a very early age. Okay, but what for us, we are into graduation now, and if we are going out of the campus, and if the corporate is asking us as a part of the selection procedure, only interviews, not the selection procedure, they may ask you to write a program. At the first go, you have to write a program which is error free. Okay, if you write a program which has got a bug, will it be good? Will it be a good sign for your prospective employer? Right? So that way, it's very important that we acquire the latest knowledge, the latest things which are happening. Okay, some coming from the institute, some coming from the university. Rest all, whatever is required by the industry, if you are not getting on your own, you have to get it. On your own, you have to get it. You cannot blame the college, you cannot blame the institute. That will not give you salary. That will not give you job. To get the salary, to get the job, you have to acquire that knowledge which industry demands. So in simple words, you have to be industry ready. By the time you complete your 4 years engineering or whatever course you're studying, okay, or whatever the duration of the course is, by this time we have to, okay, don't acquire knowledge which is outdated, in simple words. Okay, so for that, we have to understand where the industry is going. So with this, we can see now, okay, the industry 4.0, the technological pillars we have here. Okay, I have listed a couple of them. This is not the end of the list. This is not the end of the list. Okay, so the industry 4.0 pillars: cybersecurity, cloud computing, mobile technologies, machine to machine communication, 3D printing. If 3D printing comes, I'm telling you, it's going to change so many industries. It is not going to impact only printing industry. Don't think that it is only for printing industry. 3D printing can do a lot of things. Just one example for benefit of all of you, let me share here. If there is a particular organ of your body which is not been found, the scientists are working, they are giving this tissues, cells as an input, and this 3D printing will print your bone, will print a cartilage. Okay, it can print that. In Dubai, there is a building which is printed by 3D printing machine. There's a block 2-3 rooms they have constructed. It's a single floored building for now. Okay, it's been printed by a 3D printing machine. Getting it? So fast the technology is changing. So fast the industry landscape is changing. Okay, we have advanced robotics. Robotics has gone. Now advanced robotics are coming. Okay, kids are playing with the robotics arm. Okay, at the age of maybe the 6th grade to 10th grade. Right? We have for everything artificial intelligence. Okay, our robotics, everything, whatever we talk about, cloud computing, for everything, data is the crux. Data is the main resource. Okay, so data scientists, data analysts, these are the booming professions in the coming year. Okay, so big data is next happening thing in the industry. We have Internet of Things. Okay, just one simple thing, if I have to relate, I can relate it to, you might have seen recently an ad of some fan company. I don't remember which brand, but they say it's not a ceiling fan, it's a feeling fan. Okay, they say it's a feeling fan. Why? Because the fan is not only a fan now, it has got sensors, it has got a mic, or it has got a speaker to listen to your commands. Okay, it is connected with the internet device. Okay, so very soon this Internet of Things will become Internet of everything. Very soon we'll have internet in everything. Your car, okay, mobile is already there, your laptop, your fan, your washing machine, your AC in the room, everything will have an internet connection. Okay, so you can control everything with internet now. now or sooner or later. But now actually it is possible. Maybe not in India. We are not seeing it in and around us, but in some places it is happening. Okay. Apart from this, RFID technologies, cognitive computing. Okay. If you're just thinking in the mind, okay, your brain will start suggesting you what you're thinking and what is the solution for that. Nowadays already, right now when we are talking, our mobile is listening to us. Okay. If I talk about IoT 10 times in 1 hour, it will catch that word, and tomorrow you will get an advertisement or something related to IoT. Okay. You want to do a course in IoT, this institute is giving, you want to buy a device of IoT, this company is selling. Okay. Because our mobiles are listening to us. They are recording. Okay. Based on that, the ads are coming. So tomorrow, based on that, mobile will start working. I just need to sit and think in front of laptop or mobile. It will start doing things for me. Okay. That is cognitive computing, like, future era of computing. It is going in that direction. Okay. So with this, like, because of all these things, the various institutes across the globe have studied as to what skills our youngsters must have if to have a good job in the 21st century industry 4.0. So what are the skills they must have? Okay, so it is segmented into 3 different categories: learning skills, literacy skills, and life skills. Okay, in learning, we must have critical thinking, creativity, collaboration, communication. In literacy, we must have information, media, and technology. And in life skills, we must have flexibility, leadership, initiative, productivity, and social skills. This is a must for all of us. This is a must for all of us. Okay, out of this, like, 12 skills, we must see as to how many we have acquired and how many we have to acquire. Very consciously, you have to work towards getting these skills, because these are must demanded in the industry. So another, like, research from World Economic Forum, it says that the skills required in 2025, the top 10 skills which are required in 2025. Okay, so here they have given the list: analytical thinking and innovation, active learning and learning strategies, okay, complex problem solving, okay, critical thinking, creativity, all those things, like, will be becoming important day by day. Okay, I hope a couple of them are raising hands. If it is, like, on the topic question, we request you to please park it aside. We will take the questions towards the end. Okay, keep your hands raised, and for sure we'll answer all your questions towards the end. Okay, I hope I'm audible. I hope I'm making sense. Okay, if you are here, please type yes, and then I'll continue. Let me see how many yes I can get before I continue. If you are here and listening to me, you feel I'm making sense, whatever I'm talking, please type yes. 1, 2, 3. Only 3 people here. 4, 5. Okay, now it's raining. Wow, that's good. That's great. Thanks everyone for that active participation again. Okay, now let me continue further. Okay, talking more about our topic. Okay, so these are the skills what are required. Yes. Okay, but what are declining also? Let's talk about that also. Some are growing and some are declining. So the ones which are declining, please don't push yourself into those things. Very soon those skills will be taken away by technology. Okay, so please don't get into those things. Like recently, I was sitting with my daughter, and one of my daughter was not having so good handwriting. Okay, and for a moment I started telling her, no, beta, your writing should improve. And 2-3 days I was, like, again and again emphasizing on that part as to, like, your handwriting should improve. Then like, my eldest daughter, she came to me and she said, like, Dad, why you want to, like, improvise her handwriting so much, and why are you insisting so much when you yourself don't write a single page every day? Every time I see you are either on mobile or on laptop, you don't write. So then why are you, like, making us, like, me and my siblings to improve our handwriting? It literally made me to, like, pause for a minute and think about that. Literally, like, writing is not a skill anymore which is required. Okay, vocabulary is important, communication is important. Okay, but writing with the pen on the paper is possibly gonna extinguish it within few days, within few years. Right? So like this, there are many declining skills. Manual, okay, dexterity, okay, memory, verbal, auditory, okay, management of financial things, technological installations. Okay, nowadays you see very few cars, mobiles, and laptops are going for maintenance. Okay, they're coming with so and so, like, advanced technological features, wherein the maintenance has reduced to, like, very bare minimum. Right? Management of personal, no more required. We have cameras, sensors. Okay, we have RFIDs, we have GPS. Okay, management of personnel has become like, for a 1,000 employee company, we have only 4 people working in the human resource department. Only 4 people working in the human resource department. Okay, so like this, it's reducing day by day. Quality control, everything is getting quality control with the system in place. If it is manual, then the quality control will come and check. If it is already online automated, okay, the machine itself is checking the accuracy and giving the results. Correct. So these are some of the skills which are extinguishing. They are going away. So please don't spend time, money, efforts in gaining these things. Okay. Like sometimes if you go somewhere, people will tell you, excuse me, more than writing skills with the pen and paper, please acquire typing skills. Typing skills is more important than this. Okay. Just give me a minute. So typing skills is going to become more important in the coming days. Okay. And see the growing skills. That is why active learning, creativity, technology design, okay, critical thinking, complex problem solving. These are all the things which are becoming day by day more popular, more demanded in the industry. Okay. So we all have to work in this direction, my dear friends. Okay. Maybe this session could be an eye opener for most of us here. Okay. But for some of them, it could be even a reminder. Okay. But please, whether it is a reminder or eye opener, but from today, in fact, from now, please have a different approach, because there's a English quote which says that if you want different results, okay, you have to do something different which you have never done. Okay. Otherwise, if you repeat the things, you will get the same results. Okay. So some jobs which are getting declined. Okay. Architecture and engineering, which is machine cannot take over architecture. Okay. The creativity, the innovative part. Okay. The computer and mathematical, we need more programmers. Okay. The management side, business and financial operations. Okay. Sales and related jobs. These are increasing. But whereas the decreasing, installation and maintenance, construction, many machines are constructing. In fact, nowadays, a bypass surgery is being done by a robot. A bypass surgery is done by a robot. Okay. So the technology has gone to that extent. Okay. So with that, let's move further. Okay. There are many such things which I can highlight here, but the emerging jobs for you now. Okay. Emerging jobs for you now. Big data architect. Whatever I said you, if you have a mobile which has got an Android operating system in it, and you want to access the Google Play, and you first create a Gmail ID. Okay. Let me give you a fact here, that the moment you create that Gmail ID, that Google ID has got 500 data points for you. It has got 500 different data points for you. Where you are going, what you're doing, how many hours you're sleeping, what you're talking about, okay, what exercise you do, everything, or so many things which it is recording. Okay, knowingly, unknowingly, it is recording. Okay, and with privacy has been lost, kind of. Okay, but not to the larger extent, but yes, to some extent it is lost. That is why we are getting the relevant ads, because Google is recording our information. Google knows where we are going with the GPS location. It can track where you're going. Okay, we can get the history from the Google ID, from the Gmail ID. We can get the history where all this person has gone. It is basically the mobile. Okay, but it is you with the mobile, because you never leave the mobile. You won't even leave it while going in the bathroom nowadays. Sometimes there are some people I have seen, they go in the bathroom along with the mobile. Okay, so automation technicians, this will also increase because everything is getting automated. So now don't get into a job which can be automated. If it can be automated, very soon that job will be given to a machine and you will be thrown out of the job. Okay. Renewable energy engineers, this will increase in the coming years. Okay. Automation engineers, organizational developmental specialist. Okay. Organizational development specialist, the organization, every now and then the industry, the companies are changing their hierarchy. Who is reporting to whom? Like, they're trying to reduce the manpower. Who is doing this? This is called as organizational development specialist. Okay. They are seeing who will go up in the ladder. Okay, who will stay where, how many people will report to whom. Then comes new technology specialist, somebody who is like, what I can say, information seeker, somebody who is like, the first change maker, who goes and get and see into the, what is this new technology all about. Okay, so those people are also getting into demand. IT administrators, digital transformation specialists. Nowadays, your whole big half-acre library or quarter acre library, whatever your college had, very soon it will shrink into a one laptop, one PC. Why? Because all the books are getting digitized. Everything is shrinking and it is coming into one laptop, one machine, or a big hard disk. That's all. Or an array of hard disks. That's all. Not much more than that. Okay. Whatever was acres of land, it is shrinking into just 12 inches or 1 feet. Okay. It's just a matter of that. Okay. Then IT project managers, data analysts, these are some of the growing jobs. The declining jobs, team assemblers, secretaries, inspectors, okay, drilling machines or boring machine operators, okay, electrical and electronic assemblers, because all robots are assembling all these things, right? Data entry operators, no more required. Your mummy can talk to Google and ask how to make sambar without coconut. No need to type also. Where is the need of the data entry operator in the company? Whatever we are talking in the meeting, now this webinar itself is getting recorded. Earlier, whenever any session used to happen, people used to sit and write minutes of meeting and all. Now those jobs no more exist. Secretaries no more exist. We are recording we are recording this webinar. AMP can use this webinar. Your college can use this webinar again and again. Who is stopping? Write once, read many. The benefit of IT. Right, friends? So like this, there are many jobs which are on the verge of decline. And if you're planning to get into those jobs, okay, think about it. Think about it. Okay. And don't think that the government job will extinguish. Government jobs will be remain. Okay. But the government jobs are also getting advanced. The governments are also looking for now data scientists. Governments are also looking for now automation engineers. Okay. So government sector will remain, because in India, even if you do medical doctor, you become, the father will ask, next question is, will you get a government job? Right? So secure we feel the government job is. I'll come to that in my coming slides. Okay. Now moving forward, some of the other jobs, like, let me quickly highlight and move forward. Okay. We have mobile application developer. Okay. Which is getting very popular. Okay. Because whatever we are getting addicted to mobile applications is we have these mobile application developers behind. Okay. They are designing different applications. Okay. We have data architects who are seeing where this Google like companies which are collecting 500 plus data points from every user. Okay. We need an architect to make it meaningful. Make this data meaningful for the companies so that they can come up with the ad, they can come up with the new products, they can come up with a new segment of business altogether. Okay. We have DevOps engineer, developer ops, like, all-round developer of developer as well as programmer altogether. We have compliance manager, we have business analyst, very interesting, UI, UX designer, user exchange, user interface designers. This is one of the very booming sector nowadays, apart from social media marketing analyst, system analyst, business analyst. Okay. UI, UX designer are the people who are designing your look and feel of the mobile apps, what you're doing. Okay. Interface, what buttons and options you will see. Okay. Exchange, what information is given on one screen, what framework, okay, it all looks like. All those people are designing. And it is so engaging. These people have designed, like, so engaging, like you get addicted now. I think you all will relate to this. After putting a status in your WhatsApp, okay, how many hours it will be available for? Can you quickly type in the chat box? If you put your status on WhatsApp, how many hours it will be there? And after how many hours automatically it will, like, disappear? Vikram says, oh, Vikram is always one of the first to reply. Very good. Vikram, Shweta, Anushri. Anybody else? Rajat. Who else? Others don't use WhatsApp status? Okay, they all say 24 hours. You all are right. Okay. Now, within this 24 hours, honestly speaking, my dear friends, honestly speaking, within this 24 hours, how many times you will go and check how many people have seen your status? In 24 hours, tell me on honest number, how many times in 24 hours you will go and check your status, how many people have seen it? Somebody says 2 to 3 times. Sayyid. Vikram says 10. Okay. Rajat says many times. I don't know how many is many. Right, my dear friend? This is what your UI UX designer are compelling you to do. Okay. They are making you to come again and again back to WhatsApp. There is no new message. You're just curious as to how many people have seen. And sometimes you feel annoyed. So many people seen my photo and they don't even reply, like, cute okay, looking handsome, looking this, looking that, right? Sometimes we feel angry also. 60 people have seen and nobody has commented, right? They are engaging you. So who is doing this engagement? Your UI UX designers. In every app, in every software, in every, like, Twitter, you go, you talk about Facebook, you talk about any social media, you talk about other apps also, even your banking apps also keeping your, their customer engaged. They can't sell so many cross products when the customer come personally into the bank, but through mobile app, they can sell so much. Through mobile app, they can sell so much, right? No more sales guy required. Mobile app is selling directly to the customer, right? So what is happening now? Mobile app is taking away salespeople job. Mobile app is taking salespeople job. If your company has a mobile app, okay, the sales guy will struggle a lot. Why? Because automatically the customer will, or the company will reach the customer will reach the company via the app. So what the sales guy should do? He will go to a person and say, sir, I'm coming from XYZ bank. Okay, do you want this product? They'll say, no, I have an app and I'm availing all your products there. Thank you so much for coming. Right? So guys, high time for all of us that we need to don't become afraid of the technology. Don't become afraid of these things. We have to become a friend of this technology. This technology should work for you. This technology should help you to earn money. Okay, we'll talk about that in a while, but let me highlight one important aspect before I continue further. There's something called a job and a career. Okay, what is job? What is a career? Anybody in the chat box, if you can, one line definition of a job or one line definition of a career as to what it is. Can you help me with that? I have more than 60 participants. At least 5 answers can I get? What is a job? What is a career? One line. I don't want a detailed bookish definition. Okay, what do you think is a job? What do you think is a career? Vikram used to answer first. So far, no reply from Vikram also. Pratik says job, serving other to get money. Okay, very good, Pratik. I kind of take it. Twinkle says the work that you, my God, so many answers flowing, I can't even read. Okay, the work that you do regularly to earn money is job. Okay, Twinkle, Anushri. Okay, development, skin, what to do with the skin? Okay, opportunity to learn and grow and earn. Okay, okay. Any other? I've got a couple of them. I think Milind wants to type something, but here there is a typos there. Okay. Fine, guys, let me help you. We'll run short of time if I wait for more answers. Okay. Quickly to tell you the job. The job is something which you do regular. Yes. For the money. Okay. Yes. Job is something which you do it there only. Maybe next company you join, you do some other work. That's a job, right? It's a different job. So job could be different. You're not continuing the same skill set across the jobs. If you're continuing the same skill set across the jobs, you can call it as a career, like accountant, like a trainer, like a programmer. Okay, wherever he goes, that is his career. Okay, he has selected that. Not only that, a programmer can start his own company also. But job is what you work for salary. Okay, but career is you can do your business, you can work for a company, you can work as a freelancer. Okay, like so many other things. So career is something which is spanning across the jobs or spanning across the more than one company you're working or spanning across the different industries. Okay, so then we can call it as a career. Okay, why I am talking about job and career is one advice, whatever I am going to talk today. Okay, definitely you have some takeaways for you, but one takeaway you must take away from this webinar is don't work for job. Don't look for job. Look for career. Strive for career. Okay, career is like, that gives you a better shape in the industry. You will be demanded. People will be running behind you. They will be coming with the job offer to you. If you are working only for job, you will have a very tough time. Okay, and jobs can easily be taken by somebody else, and jobs can be easily be taken by even machines also. Right? So that is why we are talking about career now, which will span across various jobs. So you are specialized in some particular skills. You're passionate about that. Okay, which is more rewarding, which is more fulfilling. You are passionate about that. Okay, so look for that. Don't just go for money. Oh, data scientist is more demanded, I'll go for data scientist. But are you passionate about that? Okay, that's the next question. So why focus on career, not on job? Is because the 21st century industry is changing. The workplace is changing. Okay, nowadays it could be possible for some countries already. It's happening in India also. Pandemic has proved it again and again. Okay, and very soon the corporate will adapt to it to a very larger scale. Is that live and work anywhere in the world. Okay, live and work anywhere in the world. Because of this pandemic and all, because of so many other reasons, okay, the landscape is changing, right? Travel as often as you like. There are some countries where there is 5 days a week working, 2 days off. There are some country which have already adapted on a trial basis, 4 days a week working, 3 days off. There are some countries or some companies, software companies especially, they have said 40 hours a week you work. In one day you work for 10, 12, 18, these bothered. In a week you complete 40 hours, rest of the time you can take off. Okay, so time matters. You work only for 40 hours, 48 hours max. Okay, change what they're working on to keep up with their interest and abilities. You can play golf and still keep on earning. Okay, enjoy our earning potentials, okay, that are not capped, because salary is always a capped thing. But if you are working in 21st century, working for different locations, right? Somebody is doing a blogging, somebody is doing a content writing, somebody is doing a programming. Okay, they can do a freelancer and earn more money than what a salary can give. Okay, work for peers across the globe. So your co-workers are not limited to your own state, your own city, your own country. They can come from anywhere because you are working in a global environment. Okay, on the cloud, right? So with this, the industry landscape is changing every day, day out. Okay, and this changing has been termed as gig economy. In this gig economy, what happens, what is happening is the companies are shrinking. They are having very few salaried employees, and they are hiring more of a consultants or freelancers, or pay as per the work. Pay as per the work. Okay, this is beneficial for the company. This is beneficial for the employee. Now, employee will not be called employee. They will be called consultants. They will be called as programmer. They will be called as whatever the other name, depends upon their work, right? So Dubai earlier, I'm just giving an example. Okay, UAE as a country, which is popularly known as Dubai. Dubai is one of the Emirates of UAE. There, if somebody has to go, must go on a job visa. Earlier days, just 3 years before, one must go on job visa or should have a business of their own. Only then they are allowed to be in that country, stay in that country, do their work or do their business. But what about consultants, like people, freelancers? They are not full time. They come and go. So they used to come on visit visa, do the job and take the money, go back. This was not getting recorded. So now Dubai has created in the last 3 years more than 140 different freelancers visas. More than 140 different types of freelancers visas. That means there are 140 professions which are allowed to come on that visa. They can stay. They are not working for one single company. They are not doing one job. They are doing multiple jobs, or they are earning from multiple avenues. They are working as a freelancer. They are working as a consultant. There are 140 such jobs which Dubai is allowing. There are many other examples I can talk about in the European continent. Okay, but because of time, let me come back to the slide. What I'm trying to tell here is, in the coming days, the jobs will be reduced and consultants and freelancers will be hired. So for that reason, if you're looking for a job, you will be having a tough time. If you're looking for a career that will be matching with the requirements of the industry. Okay, so that is why I highlighted gig economy here. So gig economy, we don't have much data for India for now, because we Indians still want that secured government job. We want to become that babu, okay, office babu. Okay, we all are striving even now also for that, even though we are learning artificial intelligence and machine learning, but still we are there, we are happy there. Okay, but we have some data from US economy which says that 29% of the workers have their alternative job as their primary job. Okay, so they are working somewhere and they are their primary job. For example, my primary job is I love content writing, blogging. So I work in a pizza shop, I work in KFC. Okay, that has become my alternative job actually, but my primary job is I'm a blogger. I write blogs, I do content writing. Okay, and I'm earning a lot of money. My working in KFC is which is giving me, taking more time but giving me less money. but my blogging will take me less time, but give me more money. So that I'll do it at the night time, daytime I'll be working in one of the shop or one of the stores. So this is what the US economy is driving currently. Okay, the gig economy expands 3 times faster than the whole of US workforce. Okay, so many people are becoming freelancers, then many people becoming employed, salaried employees. Okay, in 2018, full-time independent workers generated $1.28 trillion, okay, of revenue for the US economy, and 36% of the 57.3 million workers in the US are in the gig economy. That means there are so many freelancers. 36% are freelancers out of 57.3 million workers in US. Right? Very soon we can get this data even for India also. Okay, so industry landscape is changing. Okay, your next input should be industry landscape is changing. Okay, so if industry is changing so fast, there is another World Economic Forum data which says that if a child takes admission in first standard, okay, grade 1 now, okay, 14 years, 15 years or 16 years of formal education the child would have. Okay, by the time today when he's taking the admission, say there are 100 different jobs available in the industry. By the time he completes this 14, 15 or 16 years of formal education, okay, out of those 100 jobs, 33 jobs have died. They are no more existing. There are new 33, 34 jobs which have come in the market. Okay, so in your graduation, after your PUC, this is the time we should see what is more demanded in the industry. We should acquire that. Okay, so industry landscape is changing very fast. Okay, so there is no good or bad career. There is either a passionate career or a miserable career. Okay, I am passionate about training. I decided to become a trainer when I was in my second year of my graduation. I did my post-graduation, but after that I was always striving, always working to become a trainer. Okay, that was my ultimate aim. I am passionate about training and I'm happy today. I'm doing very good, whatever possible, like, best in my case. Okay, with my situation, I think I'm at a very right place, right? So career is not about following somebody blindly. Career is not about doing because that gives more money. Okay, career is looking for 2-3 different things. One, your own satisfaction. You are skilled in it. You are passionate about it, and it is demanded, and it will be like, pandemic and recession free. Okay, so that's a career which you should strive for. Okay, so continuing further, let's talk about the term which we have, the catchy line for our webinar today, the disruptive era. What is this disruption? Okay, how many of you come across this word disruption? Disruption, have you come across this word? Okay, definitely you might have. Disruption has one meaning. Disruption is a kind of negative word for most of the people. They say disruption means destroying everything, like, changing everything. Okay, that is disruption. But I'll tell you the good news for you. Disruption is a very positive word. Okay, because this is what will get you job. What is disruption? In simple words, I'll define disruption. Again, going back to the example what Javed Khan sir gave at the beginning. Okay, when the road changes, changing the gear. Okay, when mobile Nokia was working very good, Nokia was doing fantastic, fabulous at that time. Okay, the developers of Android met Nokia people and said, do you want to adapt our technology? Nokia said, no, we are doing very good. Why should we adapt your technology? It's no more required. We are the market leaders. Okay, a very small company in India by name Java. Okay, Lava was the first company which adapted Android. Okay, they said, we'll not take the complete copyright. You can sell this Android to other people also, but we will take for only our mobile and pay per device. Okay, so they took up this, like, thing, and they started doing wonder. And suddenly, like, Samsung people, they adapted Android and it changed the whole landscape, right? So the way the Android has changed the mobile usage, the mobile device usage, the mobile development, like, industry production. Okay, that is what is the best, one of the good example of disruption. We see disruption now all around. Okay, earlier days we had the renewable sources, like, non-renewable resources vehicles, right, based on petrol, diesel, okay, and not on what all other materials. But now through renewable resource, solar energy, electric energy, Okay, if electric energy can be regenerated from any of the renewable resource, okay, so then it is very cheap, then it is good, then it is sustainable, it is good for the environment. This will possibly change the whole landscape, right? So the automobile industry, they says that by 2050, okay, 85% of the vehicles would be electric, okay, by 2050. So I think still it's a very large number, very long number. It should be reduced to some very lesser number in the coming days, okay, as the technology is advancing. Okay, so coming back to our point, so the disruptive technologies like mobile internet, automation of knowledge work, internet of things, cloud computing, advanced robotics, these are all your disruptions. These are all your disruptive technologies which are changing the way the industry is working, which are changing the way the common man is using the technology. It is changing the landscape day in, day out, day in, day out. Okay, our teachers, hats off to all the teachers across the globe during this pandemic time. Most of the teachers who were not techno savvy, they don't know what is Zoom meeting, they don't know what is Google meeting. They adapted to this technology to train the students, to teach the students. No excuse, right? I think you all agree to this point that we must be thankful to our teachers that they adapted to this. They had this must or should go for this adoption of this disruptive technology, because that's the way it will go forward. Otherwise it was not. Okay, now thank God things have improvised. We are back to physical classrooms. Okay, we are back to one-on-one training, classroom training, right? Thanks to God, but we all must maintain social distance and other precautions. Okay, then only we will sustain this. Otherwise, again, the third wave is on the verge of coming. Okay, so please choose your career wisely. Okay, don't go with selecting any career just like that. Okay, so which is suitable, which is based on your internal personality traits. Okay, mapping your traits to the industry across things. Okay, get the clarity about career options. Okay, and plan for which would be lasting for 20 years. Don't look out for technology something span for 2 years, 3 years, or max 5 years. Okay, you will study now, you will do that, you'll get a job, good salary, but after 5 years that technology will become obsolete. Then you have to learn new thing and then get into the new thing. This was a thing which was happening with the IT people in the recent days. First there was Novell network, then they were Microsoft network, then they came up Linux network. Okay, so every time they have to upgrade, they have to reskill themselves, right? So this will be the common thing in the coming years. This will be a common things in the coming year. We all have to keep on upgrading. Learning will never stop for all of us. Okay, learning will never stop for all of us in the coming years. Okay, if you're learning and you're studying, you're keeping yourself up to date, you're in the industry demand. The moment you stop studying, you'll never be demanded in the industry. Okay, so other factors to consider: yes, money, your budget, your fees. Okay, what every course is demanding, what salary you're expecting. I've seen some people one of my friend runs a diploma college. The people come there and they want to pay whatever they pay for 2 years diploma. They expect their child to get 2 months, 3 months salary of that. Okay, only 2 months and 3 months salary should be equal to the 2 years diploma fees what they are paying. It's a good investment, right? I invest for 2 years some amount, and within 3 months my child will recover. Okay, if this happens, we should have more children, right? But that's not the case. Please don't do that. Okay, but we should look out for what salaries, average salary, consistent should be there. It should not be too high and suddenly come down. It should not be too low. It should be something good. Okay, efforts required to study that course and future demand of that particular course. Okay, now a couple of things which I've collected for you all. Okay, this is again a big list I have to bring in here, but for the want of time, I have, I think, 6 or 8 which I want to quickly highlight. Okay, so number 1, data scientist. This is one of the very booming job in the coming years. Okay, so what could be the potential? What could be the potential? So a data scientist as of now today in India is earning an average of 5.25 lakhs per year. That's an average. Okay, but there are some 10-20% of data scientists who are earning 5 lakhs in 1 month. Okay, in 5 lakhs in 1 month also. I know personally 1 or 2 such people. Okay, so that is why I'm telling you data scientist is one of the very good booming sector. But if you love numbers, if you love to play with numbers, if you love to stick on to your chair and work, okay, data scientist, data analyst, data scientist, these are the jobs which are good for you in the coming years. Okay, Apart from this, we have some other positions called as AI professionals, the artificial intelligence professionals. Okay. Let me give an example here before I talk about this slide. I was learning computers back in 1999, and at that time there was what I say, like, news in the market telling that in 2000 all the computers will stop. There's something called as Y2K bug. Year 2000 all the computers will start because the old computers are not programmed to have the date beyond 1999. Okay, but then after that they survived. Okay, it has gone. It is even going today, and it has become more popular now. Your mobile is nothing but a computer device. Okay, your mobile is a computer device. Your car has got minimum 2 computers nowadays. Latest car, if you buy, there are 2 CPUs in your car, one for the engine and one for the rest of the other electric and other wiring and other mechanic things, right? So that technology will take away your job. Okay, and it will, like, you have to adapt to that. Now the mechanics have to upgrade themselves to know how does the computer system works. Mechanics had to upgrade. In the same way, artificial intelligence is the next thing which is more demanded in the industry. Okay, it is beyond programming. How many times you program? Okay, you give the programming brain to the program itself. The program will reprogram. The program will learn on its own. Okay, the machine learning. Okay, the deep learning. Right. So because of all those things, the artificial intelligence, the best example we can talk about is your Rajnikant's movie. Okay, Robot 2.0 or Robot 1.0, whatever it is. Right. So that's a beautiful example of the artificial intelligence. So machine will take over all these things, many such things. Now, if you are doing such a job which can be automated, which can be done by an artificial intelligence machine, you will lose your job. Right. But if you get onto a course, if you do a course, or if you are getting into such a profession wherein you program the artificial intelligence machine, you maintain the artificial intelligence machine, you code the artificial intelligence machine, you will be in demand because somebody has to program these machines. Right. So that is why the average AI programmer is also earning around 5 lakhs per month. Again, I'm telling you, this is a 5 lakh per year. But again, I'm telling you, here we have many programmers who are earning between 3 to 9 lakhs per month, AI programmers. Because nowadays, AI programmers are less in the market and there is a huge demand. But by the time you complete, if you're in second year, third year, you complete your course and you go there, okay, by the time the demand would reduce, programmers will increase. Okay, but still, there is a huge potential because this industry is still evolving. This industry is still growing. Okay, this industry is still expanding. Okay, so AI would have a very good potential for you in the near future. Okay, the next, cyber security. Every company is having an app. Every company is having a mobile, so a website. So if everybody is going on the website, definitely the robbers, the, like, what we call those luteras, the bank looting peoples. Okay, they will also go online. They will also go online and cheat. They will also go online and rob. They will also go online and steal the money. So for these, the cyber security professionals are getting more into demand. Everybody has monetized their website, their app. There is a money transaction. The people will come to loot it. So then the cyber security people are required to see that who are the people coming, authentication, checking the password, OTP, some other people should not come, the firewall, the these, that, the virus should not come. Okay. So for all these things, the cyber security is next such, like, technology which is evolving very fast and huge demand for this. In the IT sector, this is one of the very, like, hugely demanded side. Apart from that, the next one is the digital marketer. Because if everybody wants to see the things on Facebook and buy on Flipkart, on Amazon, okay, then we need the people who advertise this. Who is doing this advertisement? The people who used to paint those, like, banners earlier days, they won't get, they cannot do this. The people who are going door to door and marketing, they cannot do this. We need people who can do digital marketing, online marketing. These are the next set of jobs which are getting much into demand. Okay, very good job for ladies. Sit at your home or work from your home. Okay, you can do this job sitting at your place. Okay, no time limit. Work for 8 hours, work for 24 hours. The company wants so much of visibility. The company wants so much of clicks. If you have done that, you get your part of money, right? Digital marketing, one of the next very, like, rapidly growing apart from cyber security. Okay, UI UX designer. This is more than cyber security. UI UX designer, because everybody wants an app, then somebody needs to be programming that app. Somebody needs to have that wireframe framework. Okay, somebody needs to do that buttons, push buttons, okay, options, reports, dashboards, okay, all those things to be displayed to the customers, to the users of the app, and keep them engaged. They feel coming back again and again. They don't leave and go the app, right? So for all those things, the UI UX experts are there who are doing this programming behind. They are also minting money like anything. I know a UI UX designer, one guy doing both the things. He is one of the paycheck for 1 month in India is 21 lakhs. 21 lakhs in just 1 month he has earned. Okay, I'm not telling it's a constant, it is variable, but still, 21 lakhs in 1 year, many people don't even earn in 2 years so much of amount, right? So that's the, like, another field which is very much booming. Okay, content writer, again and again I was taking this name because I need content writer for my website also. I need content writer for my, things also, because I have my own content. I do talk, but somebody needs to put that on the website. Somebody needs to put in my blog, right? So content writers are again becoming popular. People want to read anything, any particular thing comes, people first want to go on to Google and search. I want to buy a car. Okay, they first go and see the reviews on about the car on the websites, right? On the cloud, and then they buy the car, then they buy the mobile. So we need somebody to write the content about this technology, because every layman, common man cannot write about it, or their writing cannot be understood by every other person. So the content writers are those special people who can write in such a way that even the scientist, even the layman, everybody can understand it. Okay, and they create that what I can say, curiosity within the person to keep on reading till the last line. Okay, so those are the content writers. This is also another booming sector. Again, another work from home job. Again, another one more job which is pandemic free, which is recession free. Okay, websites are there. And for every company it has become, if you are not having a website, you don't exist. Your physical shop is there, your physical industry is there. If you don't have a website, you don't exist. Okay, so every company has a website. Every company has a blogging section. Okay, so content writers are another next, field of segment which is rapidly increasing. Video game designers, every mother's enemy. Every mother is trying to find who are these video game designers. I'll kill them. They have designed this game. My child is not leaving the mobile. He is getting addicted to mobile, and at times, they are having some problems also. The childs are developing some problem, but this is job for somebody. Some people are there who are programming these things, right? They get money for that. They get money to write such games. Forget about children. The adults are getting addicted. Okay, so such jobs are also there, and video game designers, programmers, they are also much in demand. But before I come towards my end of the session, last thing which I want to tell is, okay, in terms of looking for great career, never forget to be a great human being. So first we have to be good human being, and then career follows. Okay, so with this I kind of come to end of my topic which I wanted to share with you all. Okay, I know it's a very vast topic. There are so many other avenues and options possibly you'll be getting, and the kind of college stuff you are associated with. Definitely you will get all this more information from various sources, but the ball lies in your court. You have to strive and get it. Every information can come to you, but you grasp that, you apply that, it's all in your hand. Okay, with that, now we are here for next 10-15 minutes for question and answer session. I request Faisal to please, can you help me with the questions?
Yes, thank you, sir. Thank you for such a wonderful session. Now I would request the students to please ask the question. Either you can type the question in the chat box, or if you want to speak, please raise your hand. I will allow you to speak.
Can you put down the link for
yes, sir, I have already.
Okay, fine.
Okay, so as
yes,
there
please, everybody, if you have any question, any thing you want to share with us, please do come forward and ask the questions. As Alka ma'am has told in the beginning, please do get benefit. Okay, make it a very interactive session. So far you have been a wonderful audience. Okay,
so moving forward, as there is no question, so now I would request everyone to please share your feedback before we could end the session. Now I would like to request Anjum ma'am to please give a vote of thanks, and then we will end the session.
You say I'm audible?
yes ma'am, you are.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank Thank you, sir. I take this opportunity to extend my gratitude for the trainer of today's session, Mohammad Zamir Hussain, sir, for sharing his valuable knowledge and guiding the students to prepare themselves for becoming compatible in the technologically advanced world. I also thank Dr. Z.J. Khan, sir, Principal of RCRT Chandrapur, Dr. A.P. Savlikar, Dean Academics, and Professor P.B. Thavri, HOD of the Electronics and Communication Department, for their support and motivation in organizing this event. I would also like to thank all the students for the patient listening and active participation throughout the event. And of course, a very big thank you to Faisal Nadeem, sir, project coordinator of ETP, for all his efforts in making this event successful. Thank you once again. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. And once again, I would request the students to please share your feedback. And
Has anybody raised hand there?
He has gone. So
Okay,
we are-
thank you, AMP, thank you everybody for letting me share the learning platform with you all today. Thank you, everybody.